Thank you for joining me today. My name is AJ and I am a prevention specialist with SACADA, the San Antonio Council on Alcohol and Drug Awareness. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make a glow-in-the-dark lantern. So here is what you will need. You will need some glue, some glitter, and this is Tulip Glow in the dark paint, whatever colors you want, nothing specific. I am going to use probably these three colors today. And you need two paintbrushes, one of them a little bit thicker than the other, okay, preferably. You will need a mason jar and just a piece of paper to work on so you do not get your table dirty. This is going to be the final product. As you can tell, we're going to decorate the top with some glitter, and then all these little dots are basically going to glow in the dark. By the way, I mentioned you will need a mason jar. You don't necessarily have to go out and buy one. If you have a spaghetti jar at home that you just finished using, or a pickle jar, a jam jar, any kind of jar basically, whether it's small or large, whatever glass jar you have, even plastic would work. Okay, so just to keep that in mind. So we're going to get started. You're going to unscrew the top of your jar and you are going to put that aside, because we're going to work with this jar first. So I'm going to take this little sticker off because, as you can see right here, we don't have that and your design can show. So I'm going to take this off and we are going to get started with the paint. So as I said before, this is Tulip Glow in the dark paint, and you can find it preferably, I think, Michael's. I went looking out for it at various stores, but Michael's I know for sure has it, and it's very affordable as well. So you're going to take your first color and you're going to squirt probably a dime size circle on your paper, and that way you can just dip your brush into this little circle and you don't waste much paint. Okay, so you're going to grab the thicker brush, okay, the brush that has the thicker head, and you're going to dip it into the paint, and we are going to start painting circles at the bottom of the jar. The reason for that is if you start working on the sides, your paint might get smudged. So you want to start working from the bottom up, okay? So with this thicker brush, you want to make your bigger dots. So basically that's all we're going to paint. We're just going to paint dots all around the jar, and when you turn off the lights, it's going to look like fireflies are in a lantern, okay? So that's why it's a glow-in-the-dark lantern. So let's get started. You dipped your brush, and now you are going to make just big circles, as big as you want them. It can be medium size, but that bigger brush you're using to make your bigger circles. And you want to make sure to space your dots, because in between you're going to come back with a smaller paintbrush with another color, and you're going to paint in between those bigger dots. So that way you have different sizes going on in your jar. Okay, so let me finish this bottom part and I will show you what it looks like. If you need more paint as you are dipping your brush, feel free just to put your brush down and squirt some more paint. Okay, so as you can see, I have several big dots right there. I'm using the yellow paint. Okay, and now I'm going to continue to work on the sides of the jar, and I'm making those dots. And there's no order that you have to follow, just wherever you feel you want your dots to be placed, go for it. So you're going to do that all around, and let's say you want to change colors right now because you want bigger dots another color, you can totally do that as well. Just squirt the paint on your paper and grab another brush and you can do the same. Or maybe you want just your whole jar to be one color. That is absolutely okay. There you go. So I'm going to squirt some more paint. Oops. It's okay, things fall. go. I need some more. And just close it so it doesn't dry up. And here we go again. So remember, you want to start from the bottom up so that you don't smudge your jar. Okay. And just hold your jar. If it's a glass jar, hold it really tight so it doesn't fall and break. If it's a plastic jar, you don't have to worry too much about that. Okay, so as you can see, now I'm going to the sides and I'm just painting dots all over. Spacing them, because remember we're coming back with another color to fill in those spaces in between. And I'm almost finished with this first color. Now you can go at your own pace. If I'm going a little too fast, you can go at your own pace, pause the video, and then come back and finish, okay? But right now I'm going to move on to the second color. And I'm going to choose blue. So once again, I'm going to squirt just a little bit. And if I need more, I'll come back. And now I'm grabbing the smaller paintbrush to paint smaller dots in between those bigger dots, okay? So in the past, I have seen other kids do the same craft with me, and they just decided to paint stripes in their jar. So maybe you want to paint stripes. I know this one is going to look a little bit like fireflies in there, and that's why we're doing dots. But maybe you want to come back later and make another jar, and you can make your own design, whatever you want to do. So they painted stripes. Other kids have painted their whole jar, so their whole jar would glow in the dark. So whatever design you want to do, maybe you can do zigzag lines. Of course, that takes a little bit more practice with your paintbrush, but you can do it. So I'm going to show you in a little bit. You see, now I have yellow and blue dots, okay, covering the jar. So there we go. And then as soon as you feel comfortable with the amount of dots covering your jar, what you want to do is just let it dry. And you're going to let it dry for about, ideally 30 minutes or more. That way you are certain that your paint is dry. I'm going to squirt a little bit more. Finish my jar. Once again, as you start filling up your dots in between, you want to make sure to start from the bottom as well, and then work your way up so that your paint doesn't smudge. Okay. So there we go. So you're going, once you're finished, like I said, you're going to want to let your paint, your jar dry for 30 minutes. If you place it outside, it's nice and sunny. The sun is going to dry up that paint really nice. So the more time that you leave it outside, the more the paint charges because of the light, of the sunlight. So that's why I said either 30 minutes or more, okay? That way it charges. And then it's ready for you to have it at night. And you can take it to your bedroom, maybe go outside if you're spending time with your family, roasting marshmallows by a campsite, something like that. It's gonna glow really awesome. There we go. Okay, so just a few dots for me, and then I will actually come back and do some smaller dots. I want to try the pink paint as well. So I'm going to have 3 colors in my jar. But like I said, you don't have to use 3 colors. You can use maybe just 1 or 2, whichever colors. And they have a lot of colors at the store, so you just choose whichever ones you want. Okay. So I'm going to keep working with the smaller brush and just dip it and then just go in between, and I'm just going to put just a few more dots, a different color wherever I find spaces, and then I will show you in just a second what it looks like with all three colors. And if you have more time, as I said, you can always come back, make another jar, maybe for a friend, for a relative, and you guys can share glow-in-the-dark lanterns. Okay, here we go. So you can, hopefully you can see the three colors. Have yellow, blue, and pink. Okay, so I'm going to place just a few more dots wherever I see some spaces that are empty, and just cover them, and then we're going to let it dry. And as we're letting the jar dry, we're going to work on our final step, and that is to make our lid a little more decorative. You don't have to, but here we go. So we finished. Okay, so now you are going to let this dry. You're going to take it out once again for 30 minutes or more. The longer it's out there, the more it charges. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside, and now we are going to decorate our lid. You see how this lid has glitter on top. This one is gold glitter, but today I want to choose to use silver glitter. Okay, so you take your lid and you take this flat part, set this ring aside, take the flat part, and you're going to take your glue and you're just going to squirt a nice amount on there, and then you're going to spread it. Okay, so just a couple of zigzags, and then use the nose tip to maybe just spread it all around. You can see, let me lift it up. Okay, so I want to do the edge as well. So I'm going to squirt just a ring around it so that it is covered with glue, and that way the glitter can go on top of there and there's no empty spots. So just squirt and then spread it around, just like that. Make sure as much of it is covered with the glue so that there's no empty spots, and then all your top is covered with glue. With glitter at the end. Okay, there we go. So I have glue all over. Now I'm going to set this aside. We're going to open our glitter, and this is very fine glitter. I really like it. There's some little holes in there, and so it's just a shaker. So you just shake the glitter onto the lid and make sure you're covering the whole circle. And it does take a little bit of effort on this one because it's really, really fine. But whatever glue you have laying around will do, and whatever color you want as well. So just sprinkle, and this you're gonna let it dry as well. I'm gonna say about 20 minutes is a good time. But the longer you let it set, the better, because that way you know that the glitter is stuck on there. Okay, so I am going to close that, and now I'm going to just shake a little bit of the excess glitter off. Okay, and I'm just going to let it dry. So in the end, I'm going to show you this one right here. This one I just covered all over with the same three colors as well, and I took a little bit more time, and I actually designed little flowers. I'm not sure if you're able to see that, but just designed little flowers all around. Okay, and then my lid I covered with gold glitter. So as you can tell, I can open it. There we go. Okay, so I let it dry, and then once it's finished, you are going to bring your jar inside, put the flat part of the lid on top of it, and now screw the ring over, and your jar is ready to enjoy. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you like this craft, and let us know what you think about it. See you next time.